Hi, it's Petey with New Pathway to Healing. So one of the questions that I get so much of the time is, how did you learn to talk to spirit? Where did that all come from? So here's the quick story. Of course, you know, I don't do anything that quick, but here's the story on it. So I started doing past life regression in 1991 after training with Dr. Brian Weiss. And I was doing client after client after client. And I started to see a pattern. So about every 6 to 12 weeks, whoever I had in and doing a past life regression with, all of a sudden, and they're in hypnosis as I'm sitting next to them, and they say, while they're under hypnosis, there's a message for you from the masters. And I would say, for me, and they're still in this state of hypnosis, and they're saying, yes, there's a message for you. They want you to start writing a book. They feel that people are ready to hear these past life regression stories. It would help people so much. And this is the topics that you need to write on. Now, mind you, this is before social media, anything. People that knew nothing about my life. They didn't know I love to write. They didn't know I'd always wanted to write a book. They didn't know anything about me, and they were telling me very personal things about what to write. And this pattern kept happening, right? Like every 6 to 12 weeks, another client would say, oh, there's a message for you from the masters. So eventually I would think, oh, I'm going to do a past life regression today. I wonder if I'm getting a message. And immediately my therapist side would say, Petey, this is about the client. This is not about you. So I started saying, okay, I need to learn to talk to spirit so I can get these direct messages on my own. I can't wait for clients to give me messages from spirit. So I developed a practice every day, and this is part of, what I'm going to be teaching and sharing on how to learn to receive messages from spirit. And so I started, after about 2 months of doing this on an everyday basis, getting the messages from spirit. And they were always in the form of metaphors, especially metaphors from nature. And the whole family would gather every night at dinner, and I'd say, hey, let me read you the musing that I got today, which is what I started calling them, was my spiritual musings, right? Musings to help the soul remember, I actually created a journal on. And I'd read the musing at night, and everybody was like, oh, I love that. That's so nice. And so I started this dialogue with spirit, which was very interesting for me because I am very right brain, very traditionally trained, UVA. And so then I would start thinking, I wonder if I'm making this up. Do you think I'm making this up? I don't know. I have a very active imagination. And so I would ask questions to verify. Can you tell me more things about how I can trust that I am getting messages from spirit? Because I didn't want to mislead anyone. I just was doing this for my own personal satisfaction, and then sharing as certain things came up. So what actually happened is they decided they were going to prove this to me, and they gave me the times of 3 deaths that were coming up in my life that I didn't know were coming up. But 3 deaths to the minute that they were going to die. And they said, now you will trust. These are messages from spirit. There's no way you would have known these times of death. So the last book I wrote last year was all straight download from spirit on how to remember the other side from where we came from. And the whole introduction was my story on what those 3 deaths were. And finally, it did prove absolutely proved to me that I could receive messages from Spirit. And it's been going ever since. It's so satisfying. And you know what? And as they have told me, every single person can learn to receive messages from Spirit. And I have some great stories of clients that are going to share, or I'll share for them, that they fully talk to Spirit now too. And that's been an interesting journey. Okay, thought I would just answer that question. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.